So it's turning out to be a very podcasty day. And hello. I hope this one doesn't take off in the chats and all great because I don't have much time at this moment. But later today, hopefully. Moment. But so I kind of this is an example of one where I kind of understanding talking the range of possibilities where I kind of want to get to it, do this video, and then gotta go. Oh, those two just standing in the lane like that. One's touching the other one's face. Two girls. Well, there's three girls, but females. Anyway, I don't want to be standing here looking like I'm watching them, so I won't. But first question is really quickly, really short. I don't know how to phrase it necessarily, but although I think it's only an option via the cell phone, not the laptop for some reason, but I almost made this a short. First of all, how long can a short be before it's not a short anymore? Because it might be 15 minutes, kind of thing. And I guess I've done another one of those earlier today. The other form of the question, I don't know if it's do the algorithms show it differently. I think that depends on maybe the type of device or the a person's settings, or I don't know what it depends on. But I do wonder if that, like, have there been? I mean, personally, as far as what I feel about shorts, I kind of feel like that on YouTube. I kind of feel like they're often not worth clicking because you just there's no time to settle in and they can't contain very much. But sometimes they might, I guess. Um, but um, so yeah, basically, I'm just wondering. Other people's opinions on it, and if there's kind of like benefits to doing a short over as opposed to I'm really curious to see who he's talking to, but friend, I've only ever seen him do solo podcasts, but he's got somebody that he's she's kind of seen me say a similar message before, um that he's doing one with, so it's pretty cool. um is he singing what we say? Is that the impression he's getting? Oh, okay, I see what he's asking. It'd be really funny if Brock tuned in because I'm just seeing the name Brock in this other chat. Oops, cancel because I don't know if I clicked the right one. Looks Andrabi. Anywho, to focus on this, like I say, I don't have a ton of time right now. I got back to watching because I really do like him and his content, and mostly agree with what he says. And he's a enjoyable energy to watch. He's very kind of relaxed and laid back and loving and all this stuff, like the things that I am, but in his way. Um, I've seen some other stuff that he's done, which isn't seems like it's a different person, but I realize it might just be an outlet. And no, mostly, Anywho, and he had said something. Actually, that was the one I made money on more recently, which was still almost a month ago. So it's due time. He had said somebody had said something about his eyes or whatever, and then it was just by coincidence. I don't even think I was mentioning it that I came and rolled afterwards because he inspired an idea or whatever, and somebody donated to me saying I had angelic eyes. And speaking of angelic, again, you know, the things that they can do for us sometimes, like Ray is, you know, helping me out with his hamper stuff, and I see signs, from them, her and my grandmother. But anyway, he had said something about how, but first he said, in 10 years, in a year, you your life could be so much better. But I would even say, you know, very positive, momentous, helpful thing in your life, whether you do much to receive it or it just happens, could come even within the rest of the week. That could improve your life for a long time. Life's always going to have moments, but it could take you from, if you're feeling like you're just existing and things are just a struggle or really, stagnant and boring, whatever it is, um, it could take you from that to either the life that you've been dreaming of or just simply a life that you enjoy more. That is more, either more balanced or more better than not good. You know what I mean? And he was pretty much saying that, if you just give up today, or if you just give up, it's okay to admit defeat. It's okay to maybe go numb sometimes, or just not know what to do, and or it's not necessarily okay, but you accept it, or not, but yeah, I just want to, as I sometimes talk about this topic on here, just putting it simply. And you can browse my other videos for kind of uplifting motivation, feel the feels, talk about any triggers if they come up. I'm here to help. But, you know, um, looking at those things, um, or looking at the other lives on this topic, or just this one, um, I hope is helpful, because, yes, I mean, maybe next time I roll, I'll try and think about examples where that's happened in my life. I'm sure that it has. When you're in a certain, and yeah, unfortunately it's windy. And it's damp and kind of wind damp. It's not currently raining, but it's also certainly in the air, even though the sun's trying. But yeah, when we have been struggling for a while, or we don't have you know as much hope and faith as we have in the past or would like to have. By the way, I tried to watch it take down again the other day. It's kind of lame, to be honest, I think. But I don't know. Maybe I should give it another chance still. Because I think I used to watch a number of episodes. But anyway, it can be hard to believe that. What I might suggest is that if you can't think of examples in your own life, don't necessarily look to the people that have it all put together, because they probably don't. They have it all, you know, these great and grand things. But if you do that, focus on ones, whether you have to research about them a bit more, or you just think of somebody famous or that in your life who has overcome adversity, who has, maybe dealt with some of the things that you go through, but gotten through them. And then you can either look at what they did and try and do that too. You can reach out to them, or you can just let it give you hope. If the other two options, and if you'd like to talk about them, you can do that. But if the other two options for some reason do not seem like options that you wish to pursue, just allowing it to remind yourself, okay, well, they did it. I would say look at some of the people that have seemed to, be, but then at the same time, like I say, do they really? Who's a perfect human? Like, seriously. But then also, um, I think basically sometimes it's hard to relate to those who are just so far, beyond our level of existence. I think we need a mix in life. I think we need a balance. We need the people that are worse off than us to teach us things and for us to motivate and inspire. We need the people that are about the same, similar, to relate to them and to you know um to be there for each other, and that, and there's definitely these can co-mix, of course. And then we need the people who are, for lack of a different way to put it, um higher up the ladder, right? Because they have things to teach us too, and some of them may be better at it than others, or more for certain people than others. But yeah, but I would say that, that third category, depending on who and what, I think for a lot of people could probably feel quite unrelatable, and therefore um, make it hard. But I could be wrong. But yes, just, the real, amongst all this other stuff, back to that message of, you know it can be hard to see, but the the universe and life can surprise us sometimes, and sometimes, in good ways. And sometimes it seems like the struggles or the negative things and such are stacking up with, on us. But to realize that, yeah, in as short a period as 2 or 3 days, whether you are putting effort into it, in which case, great. I know that sometimes we see the results we want from our efforts, sometimes we don't. But also, like I say, even if you're just kind of hoping, praying, um, riding the wave, so to speak, uh, to know um, that things can, improve. I hope that. So I'm just looking at something. To know that things can improve, and you, like I say, can either get to, and sometimes it will take longer. I'm not going to sit and promise that it's going to happen either, but you can get to the life you dream of, or at least in a better spot. I mean, there's a part of me that almost kind of thinks it'd be silly not to say to, well, let's keep this positive. Let's keep this positive, and try and bring positivity to all those we come in contact with in any way throughout our day. Um, I mean, if you're in amongst a bunch of people, you can't individually bring positivity to each and every one. That wouldn't be realistic. But the ones that you actually engage with or have the opportunity to engage with, like here on YouTube, that's what I would say. And if you need to vent about what you're going through, again, you can do that here in the comments as well. But I am going to wrap up now, do some things. And yeah, I kind of, it's nice to see the sun kind of in the sky, brightening things up a little bit. But yeah, for my joints and my sinuses, and if it does start raining, then I'd have to find somewhere to wait, and I don't have the phone. So yeah, I need to kind of get myself organized here, and take care of some things. Um, and unfortunately, go transit, because yeah, it's not quite nice enough. It's like I say, but anyway, so I hope everybody's having a good day, or has had a good day, and that your week is going pretty good. And yeah, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, of course. And I look forward to chatting with you again sometime soon. Okay? Take care, be well, um, and yeah. And actually, there hasn't been a whole lot of view counts along the top while I've been rolling either. So, which is disappointing, but I didn't really have the time for them either today. I mean, I can talk to you in the comments now that I'm going to post this, but and it hasn't been super long, but sometimes it doesn't have to be, and it's active. But from what I've noticed, it hasn't been. So anyway, and I'm going to miss some of Maxie, but he goes for at least 2 hours. So, all right, take care.